What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today is going to be a training video. What I'm going to show you is I'm going to focus on prehab for the content of this video, show you a little bit of the training session that I do at the field, and then I'll hopefully get a couple clips of my session in the gym. So first I want to talk about prehab. Prehab or prehabilitation is a type of therapy-based movements and exercises in order to first avoid injury, get more mobile, decrease pain, or prepare for surgery. In my case, as a professional athlete and as somebody who's working out every day, it's really important for me to do my prehab exercises before I go and train, especially if I'm doing a double day like today, where I go to the field and then to the gym. Prehabilitation is considered one of the best approaches and can address deficits in strength, stability, range of motion, balance, and overall joint function. It's a fantastic way of getting the muscles and the body moving and ready to go for when you start to do really strenuous exercise. Especially in soccer, where the most common injuries for soccer players are things like hamstring strains, adductor strains, and quad strains, you want to make sure that those muscle groups are activated, and getting into a prehab routine is really important to make sure that those stay stable during your training sessions. Especially when you go into a professional setting, in my locker room or in a college locker room, oftentimes you'll see lots of players, probably more than half, doing prehab routines before training or a game. So that's different exercises like foam rolling, maybe it's a lifting routine, maybe it's something as simple as Copenhagens on the bench. It doesn't matter, but what does matter is that those exercises are going to help that player prevent injury and make them more capable of doing their job on the field. One study found that there were 2.4 million soccer-related injury leading to an ER visit from 2000 to 2012. 2.4 million is a great number, and ER visits are not just the normal, oh, I've got a hamstring strain. These are like ACL injuries, ankle breaking, bone breaking, that kind of thing. Prehab helps that a lot. Another study showed that soccer was the sport with the most injuries for female athletes. And female athletes especially, and I'm no expert on this, but especially for female athletes, knees and ankles are really important to make sure you're doing prehab. So whether that's prehab with a band, whether that's prehab with weights, making sure your stability is correct, making sure your mobility is correct, those are really, really important to take into consideration. So at the end of the day, prehab is about preventing injuries. It's about helping become more mobile, helping become, basically the body gets lubricated and strong before going out on the field. So today, I'm gonna run you through my own prehab routine, and this is something based on my medical history. It's things that I've put together based on recommendations from the doctor, the physio, the PT, the chiro, all the different sports medicine type doctors that I've seen over the course of years of being healthy and also injured. So a little bit of backstory. I've had double hernia surgery. I've had torn pectineus, which is the adductor, ADD adductor. So that's the one that takes your body, your leg inside. And then I've also had some hamstring and some glute strains. So a lot of the exercises that I will show you today, and again, I'm not a sports scientist, I'm not a sports therapist, so these are just the exercises that I do that I've found are effective for my body. I'm an expert on my body. Hopefully, over time, you guys can become experts on your body as well and figure out what works best for a prehab routine. So let's hop into it. All right, first things first is foam rolling, making sure I'm breaking up all the lactic acid in my body. I actually had, it's about, don't have a watch, so haha. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning right now. I had a training session that ended about 12 hours ago. So I do need to make sure that I'm foam rolling a lot, making sure that I'm getting my muscles really warm so that I can go out to the field and get the most out of my session this afternoon. All right, so that's about 5 minutes of foam rolling. Fantastic for getting the muscles all ready to go for the exercises that I'm gonna do. Next up is we're gonna do some activation. Flip you guys up like this, perfect. Okay, some activation, maybe a bit more, like that, cool. Okay, so next one, again, I'm just gonna walk you through these because this is what works for my body. Obviously, you guys can do whatever you want, but this is some stuff that really helps for activation for my own body. And again, I'm not getting warm, I'm just getting the blood flowing so that I can do those prehab exercises without any strains or anything. So first one is just like an A skip, and then I'm pushing my heel back and getting the extension of those muscles in. So we'll do 10 each side. Keeping the hips as locked in as possible. Go to the other side, show you from this angle. Hopefully you guys can't hear that clicking sound. That's my hip. Okay, and then we're gonna go about a little tighter than hips apart. Rotate anterior posterior pelvic tilt. So up, kind of do this so you guys can see. Here. Just getting the pelvis moving. Go, down, up, like this. Get the spinal cord going. All right, so that's the first one. Hopefully the battery's all right. 13%, all right, we'll make it work. Okay, next one. Plus I've got other batteries charging, so we're all good here. All right, so we'll move this way. Hopefully you guys can see. Next one. Legs up like this. Make sure your back's flat. Pull hamstring in, and then straighten. Pull it up, and straighten. Just like that, getting the mobility going in the hamstrings. And each side. And when I'm doing this, I don't want to go here, I want to go there and then pull back as best I can. So my hamstrings are notoriously tight, and that's thanks to a lot of different stuff, but some of you may be able to go further back while it's straight. Some of you may be able to have to go further forward. Next one. Now we're straight up, and then we're flexing that toe towards my face. So we're getting that nerve functioning really, and you should feel it all up and down your leg, maybe into your back, but it shouldn't hurt. It should just be 10. There we go. Another one. 10. There we go. Cool. Next one, little hip mobility. So you're gonna start 90-90, and eventually, obviously my hips are very, very tight, so I'm working on this every day to try to get it better. But what you wanna do is you wanna stay 90-90, and you wanna be able to eventually get up so that you can hold yourself like this, and then, but I'll do it like here, and you're flipping over to 90-90. So it's opening up that hip joint. So just getting a couple of those in as best you can. And you might move forward a little bit, that's totally fine. I'm just gonna sit on my hands because my hips are very tight from training last night. I'll probably do this exercise again in the gym in about 2.5 hours once I get there after my field session. But that feels really good. And this is such a good way to get that going. Next one, we're gonna do some fire hydrants. So like this, as high as you can go without twisting out. So you want your hips to stay straight, just go as high as you can. Nice, okay. So I'm gonna save my band work for the gym because it's super good for me to do that right before I lift. But the band work is really, really straightforward. I've actually shown you guys a couple of videos ago when I went into the indoor on the I think they're racquetball courts or whatever. There was a racquetball session that I posted several weeks ago. That whole band exercise, so monster walks and then doing the extensions, the abductor extensions and the glute extensions and stuff, that's all on that video, so go check that out. Next one we're gonna hop into is Copenhagens. So this is because I have pulled my groin pretty bad, actually not that long ago, which was really frustrating for me because I had done a lot of prehab work, and I've also torn my adductor. And again, a thing to remember is there's the abductor on the outside, the adductor, AB and AD. So the abductor makes your leg go out like this. Abductor is the one that across, and that's the one that I've pulled a couple times. So we're gonna hop into some Copenhagens. Really, really simple. All you're gonna do, and there's a couple different versions of this one. So let me see if I can get that set up correctly. Okay. We'll be back. Battery's dead. Cool. See you in a sec. And we're back. All right, feeling fresh. 100% battery, let's go. Okay, so next one we're gonna do, so I'll rotate you guys over like that. Hopefully you can see just the bed, that's all that matters. Okay, so Copenhagens are a very, very fundamental exercise for the groin, activating that groin and doing isometric movement. So isometric is tensing and holding in a specific location. So what I'm gonna do is the first, like this. So we're up with the leg that's on top is gonna be sitting right on the bed or a chair. And then I'm holding up flat. So make sure not only am I flat this direction, but I'm flat this direction. So I'm not bending at all. So we're gonna go 20 seconds each way, 3 times through. All right, so there's 3 by 20. Woo. Gets it going a little bit. It's good because it also activates your obliques, which is great. So some of the other exercises that I will do, and hopefully, I'm gonna ask if I can film in the gym. I know I've asked before and they've kind of been like, about it. But if I can, or maybe sneak a camera in there, shh, don't tell anybody. And I won't mention what the gym is because I don't wanna get screwed over and have to leave. So, but what I will try to do is I will try to get some of those exercises. So things like the Prehab press, and if you know what like a cable machine is, so you have a cable machine and it goes sideways so that the cable runs this direction, perpendicular with me, and then all I'm doing is I'm holding it, so I'm already engaged here, and then I'm pushing out and pushing back in. So things like that get the core stabilized, and a lot of prehab exercises are core based, and I do those before I go into the gym because I do a lot of core exercises in the gym. And a lot of them are core based because oftentimes in soccer, like lifting programs basically, a lot of it neglects the core. So a lot of players will do core exercises for their prehab or post-training rehab basically, so that they can make sure that they're really engaged in their core, because that's what holds everything together, because a lot of programs will do just lower body and just upper body. So it's really important to do the core as well. And so hopefully I can sneak a camera in and show you guys. Other than that, I will bring you guys along and I'll show you a couple clips from my training session. Again, it's a Wednesday today, so it's our off day. It's gonna be very similar to a video ago when I showed you guys the training session, and especially because that's kind of the position specific stuff that we're working on. So because we train the rest of the week as a team and I don't get a ton of like position specific, I'm gonna do with walkthroughs, but it's a little different. I'm gonna do some game realistic, game speed stuff like I did in the last video, and but I'll walk you guys through that. So off to the field, and I'll see you guys there. All right guys, so we're out here at the field. I've got a few things set up that I'll show you right now. So right there is just the normal cone drill that I was doing the other day. And then here is 1, 2, 3, 4 cones. Dribble over here. You've got 1 hurdle and 2 hurdles. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit a few warm-up ones right out of the gate. And I'm gonna try to hit that goal that I've set up over there, the little one. And then I'll dribble through there and I'll reset that goal a little bit inside the 18 as if I'm gonna cross in the air or whipping ball on the ground. And then I'll do the same thing, dribbling through that one, and then a cut back across the 6-yard box. So that's the plan for today. Again, pretty simple, especially because I've got a gym after this. It's just some position specific stuff, and then might get some passing on the wall over here, but that's it. So really simple, straightforward, guys, and I'll run you through it. Here we go. Something to keep in mind really quick, guys, about some of these more fundamental drills is all we're doing is getting the touches correct on all different parts of the foot. So I'm not super concerned about speed or anything. Obviously I want to go through at a game pace, but not until I get really, really good at getting the correct form down. Obviously I'm at a level now where I can go kind of at game pace basically, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're doing things correctly, getting in and out of the cones, because the fundamentals are so important, and you use them at the bottom level and you use them at the top level. It does not matter. So next drill, here we go. So again, with this drill, my aim is to get that ball curled in behind the back line. So when they're facing that direction, when they're facing backwards, I want to get that ball in behind so it's really difficult for the defend and it's easy for my forward to run onto it. So that's fine. Obviously the goal is just there for guidance essentially, so I'm not super angry that I didn't hit that goal every time, but I got within, I mean, 3 of those were within 2 inches of the goal, a couple centimeters of the goal, so happy with that. Gonna keep doing this a couple more rounds, but that's kind of the idea. So all it is this first one is just really fundamental. I'm like not even out of breath. It's just kind of like we're just gonna hit him, try to get in that area just to get the form and the width down every single time. So I'll catch you guys in the next drill. All right, that was a great example. Okay, so what this drill is trying to do is I'm dribbling around those uneven cones, up, back, around the cones, sprinting at a full pace through this as if this is a tackle, touch it through, and then hit it. And my goal is either to get it driven into that goal, which is great because it helps me obviously retrieve the balls, which is easy, but that's exactly where I want that ball to go, right inside the top of the 18, or I'm gonna use it as a defender and try to get it whipped in over that little goal. So that's kind of the idea, one or the other, either drilled right into the goal like I just did, or lofted in, kind of a curling ball for a header or a volley in behind. Here we go. So a little personal critique, too weak. I gotta get more whip on that wall. So if you notice the difference between the first curler and that one is much more like kind of driven and swerved in. So that's much easier for number one to get in behind the defense, and then for our forward to get in on it. Last one.
not as good, but 4 really good ones out of 5. That's what I'm looking for. So we'll hop into the second one, second set of that. I won't film it, and then get into the third one where I drive the end line and cut it back. Here we go. All right, so this one, final kind of iteration of this crossing situation. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through those gates, come through this one, and then cut it back into that goal. All right, so again, only hit one of those, but again, like that goal is about as wide as a soccer player's stance. It's about a meter wide or a meter large. So my idea is that if I'm hitting the post or in the net for 3 out of 4, 4 out of 4, that's a good ratio. And that's, I mean, I'm within this much of a soccer player's foot, a teammate's foot, so that's perfect. That's exactly what I want, so that that player can come on and finish the ball. And again, I'm focusing on speed of dribble through here, because outside backs, you need to be able to dribble really quickly. I mean, everybody does, wingers do as well, but especially outside backs, if you have a lot of space and you can push under that space really quickly, you can break lines of defense. So that's something to think about when you're doing position specific, is what can you do to optimize your play, especially in the position that you're going to be playing in. So this one, got it in, got lots of little crosses on. So that is it for the training part of the video. Again, I will do my very best to film in the gym, see if I can get a few exercises that I do in there filmed for you guys. But if not, I'll catch up with you guys after the gym. Gonna try to keep the pace. Alright guys, so I wasn't able to film in the actual gym itself. They actually allowed me to film, but for whatever reason, there was a group that was working out in the room that I was gonna try to do my exercises in. But either way, got some good lifting in, did some weighted lunges, some weighted RDLs, and some push-ups, pull-ups, and some core stuff. So just a quick workout. We got a game in about 4 days, so gotta keep it light. And yeah, so that's a prehab kind of explanation, what I do, and then what the things that I do afterwards with my field workout and my gym workout. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more content. Subscribe below, and I will see you guys in the next video. As always, be awesome. Take care, guys.